Alright, hey everybody, this is Matt Romantic, back with another episode of Metabass. Metabass is art, it is bass, music, philosophy, psychology, behavior, metaphysics, and in the last episode of Metabass, I was just trying to introduce some basic concepts. Here I am, but what do I know? I am just trying to make sense of my own subjective experience by suggesting it's framed entirely by the fact that at some point it must end. We must die. But here I am, Metabass 2, and I am totally flipping out because I'm trying to understand what the point of subjective experience is in judging anything. Does my experience make sense? Is it even real? When you start to consider that anyone who had been born as I have and experienced life as I have would see things exactly as I do, in the same way that anyone, as if I was born to your parents and experienced life as you had, I would see life with exactly the same perspective as you have, which shows that subjective experience is really quite arbitrary. And what makes anybody's perception authentic when it is only the product of chance circumstances that makes your perspective any different from mine. This is why defining characteristics such as death, which happen to us all, becomes so central to our framing. In the last Metabass, I was talking all about death being one of the major events to frame our shared experience of existence. But what is our shared experience of physical existence? Well, our body is a tool of our genetic programming. The genes are the code, the physical body is the expression, the functionary interface. And your brain controls all of those functions, but just like your computer has a processor that controls all the functions of the computer, your brain is the processor. But who is telling that machine what to do? Are we merely reproductive organs with a brain that runs all the functions of the body to transport your reproductive organs around in order to ensure our genes can continue to evolve progressively? Why fight what I am, which is essentially a dick with legs and a personality that thinks it's kind of special? I was born to function optimally, believing that I matter somehow in the greater scheme of things. However, it's important to realize that we seem to be merely energy traveling through the universe that is being expressed as this time as a reproductive system that thinks it's a person for about 100 years and then it's dispersed. This energy finds expression in the vast multiplicity of the universe, where no one person's individual experience has really any significance. However, it suits the purpose of our reproductive organs for us to believe that who we are is special and not just a product of the random circumstances we have experienced, and that is something that matters enough for us to need to survive. The way we perceive and sense our physical surroundings is totally filtered through the physical aspect of our existence to help us negotiate survival and ongoing reproduction, supporting evolution and favourable adaptations. But why has our body been programmed to experiment with diversity in order to produce these favourable adaptations in its attempts to reproduce itself? The genes are progressing towards perfecting their physical manifestation, but beyond the physical. What happens eventually doesn't matter to us as individuals because our lives are too short, so we are left here grasping the purpose of what the ultimate supremacy of progress is at that higher level that we can barely comprehend. So what can be done with these limited brains that we have with which to try and understand the things that we see and think and feel and know? All we can do here at Metabass is strive to make sense of the physical manifestation which we can see and attempt to understand, and begin to see if this understanding can inform us as to what the greater purpose existing beyond the physical dimensions might be. Because there are some things that simply cannot be known, this also is a hard fact that once again draws certain boundaries and points in certain directions as to how we are supposed to respond to the random circumstances in which we find ourselves existing amongst. So I'm Matt Romantic. Thank you again for joining me on Metabass. Get ready, because next up we're going to have MB3, Metabass 3, and we delve into the unknowable. I'll see you next time. Thank you.